Unfortunately, this country has gone from one that was at the forefront of the region in terms of education and healthcare, in terms of human dignity and freedoms, to one in which even to criticize a small aspect of a policy leads to arrest and abuse by the security services. I'm making this recording to make it clear that I'm not part of any conspiracy or nefarious organization or foreign-backed group, as is always the claim here for anyone who speaks out.
Lamis Andoni is a political analyst and columnist and joins us from Jordan's capital, Amman. Thank you so much for your time. Just talk us through how people in Jordan are reacting to what's happened in the last 24 hours.
Of course, it was a shock, though it's not new that the former crown prince has been speaking out up against, not against criticizing the king's policies and being sympathetic to some grievances or at least complaints by Jordanians, especially by really prominent personalities of Jordanian tribes. Of course, there's also the fact that he has been removed from what he sees as his right to be the actual crown prince. So that also plays in. However, it doesn't mean that it's a coup attempt. I'm not sure it's a coup attempt. What he has been doing, though, is he's been moving actively, almost on a daily basis, across the country, meeting with people, meeting with tribes members, and listening to their grievances or complaints about how the king is running the country. I think this is what alarmed the king, because he's garnering a base. He's garnering a social base. It might not be very broad, but after this video, he could gain more support. And this is very alarming because there is a protest movement in Jordan, and it shouldn't get involved in royal feuds. So this has confused the whole scene in Jordan. There are legitimate grievances, but if they get confused with royal feuds, the whole picture will be very bleak. The thing is, this crown prince in particular, he does have popularity due to different reasons, partly because he speaks excellent Arabic compared to King Abdullah, who has now almost perfected his Arabic, and he uses the Jordanian dialect as if he's one of the people in the tribes or the rural areas. That endeared him in. His voice is very close to his father, his voice himself. So that is very endearing. The other thing, though the current crown prince is doing the same now, the young crown prince, his Arabic is immaculate, is excellent, as well as he has perfected the Jordanian dialect as well, the regular dialect. The thing is, the king has intimidated big tribes in Jordan by these arrests. The Al-Majali tribe has issued a statement condemning the aggressions against its leaders.
Let me say, just sorry to interrupt you there, but I know that there are many regional leaders that are now backing King Abdullah, but he may be concerned with the support that the former crown prince is getting, as you've just mentioned. What action do you expect the king to take?
I'm not sure. The interesting thing and the alarming thing that he has left it to the army to show that nobody is above the law. It doesn't sound right because it's not. I think it's not wise because I mean I might understand his concerns because the crown prince has been emerging as if he's an opposition leader, but for the sake of the country, he cannot take such severe measures because he will antagonize more people. This should be solved within the royal family. And the main thing, we shouldn't forget the bigger picture. People of Jordan have legitimate grievances. If the king wants to win the people of Jordan, he has to embark on a process of change, not just involve himself with who's criticizing him from the royal family or the tribes. this is his problem. This is the palace's problem. They are so obsessed with how many of the people who were close historically to the royal family are now disgruntled and feel alienated. And some of the demands are not legitimate, but the popular demands, grievances are, in my view, are legitimate. Instead of concerning himself with that, in my view, he should concern himself with the wider grievances of better governance, eradicating corruption, and stopping and more freedoms instead of curbing freedoms and arresting activists. And addressing, at least to start to address the economic crisis, at least to show that Jordan is embarking on a process that seeks a minimum level of social justice, economic justice, as well distance himself from Israel. This is another thing. He has problems with Netanyahu, but he keeps on adhering to the economic joint plans with Israel that have also provoked a lot of anger in Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of anger indeed, and this seeming to play out at the moment. Lamis Andoni, really appreciate your time and analysis. Thank you.